everybody, Stefan here from EDC Austria, and today I want to talk about the Astrolux SC flashlight, which is a 14500 flashlight. But before we go into the packaging, I want to remind you about 14500. This is a regular 14500 light from Olight. This is actually a special edition too. And it's also made from copper, the same as the flashlight I'm going to show you, and it also runs on a 14500 battery, which is this size, which you'll recognize as the size of a AA battery. But as opposed to AA, it has 3.7 volts running through it instead of 1.5 volts that you get from a normal AA battery, which has the advantage that you can get peak performance. With this one it's 600 lumens, and when you're out of your 14500 battery, you can just use a AA, because those you can get anywhere. So much for that. You see, it's a pretty small light, so the use of a AA of 14500 makes sense. But now enter the Astrolux SC, which you'll notice right away is a pretty big lamp. It has a nice glowing tail cap, which makes it easier for you to find it in the night. It runs on a nice Crete XPL HL emitter. It has a deep carry pocket clip, and it takes also 14500 batteries, and it can put out 1400 lumens, which is just incredible for a 14500 battery. This was really an exercise in what you can do with a 14500 battery, because normally 14500 batteries, like I said before, are used to achieve good results with a relatively small battery. But here we have a pretty large lamp, which could have almost been made to fit an 18650, and an 18650 has usually 3 to 3500 milliamp hours instead of the 800 a typical 14500 will have. And also this one works best with so-called IMR batteries, high drain batteries. That means that the protections have been removed so that it doesn't turn off the lamp because it's drained too fast. And when you put this to 1400 lumens, it will be drained pretty fast. This one is nicely to configure, although it's very complicated, but you got a lot of options. You have the muggle mode, which is just turn on to 1400 lumens and turn off, and you have 7 other modes where you can go from two options all the way up to 8, which is just a lot. And you just turn it on, then you are in moonlit mode, and then you can go through all the brightness level, and then you just start again, or you keep holding it, then you are in the strongest, then you are in strobe, which you see is a variable strobe. Then, which is very useful, this one is giving you the voltage, and as you see, this one is still at 4.1 volts, which is pretty full. It was up to 4.2 in the beginning. And finally, you have the signal light. Like I said, you can reconfigure it to having 5 different brightness modes, but this is so complicated. I'll provide a link to Banggood, and that's another reason I did this video now, even though I'm not affiliated with Banggood. When I bought this light a few months ago, I paid $50. Now it's down to $30.99, so if you wanna grab it, it's a good time for that. But if you're just interested in, scroll down on the page and tell me if you understand how to work this thing. You can also open it up here, where you can take out the battery, and this is a high drain battery, which says here. Yeah, and here you see the pocket clip, and here you could attach a lanyard. Also provided is the lanyard itself, another tail cap, an extra O-ring, but I think I misplaced something because it's 2 O-rings and 2 tail caps. But like I said, this is more of an exercise of what you can do with a 14500 battery. This was developed by the Budget Light forum. It's built. It is, I think, a clone of the BLX5 as far as I know, and it was built exactly to their specifications. So, and if guys from a light forum make a light, they usually make pretty sure it's a good light. It's IPX8 certified, so that means it's waterproofed up to 2 meters. And another thing, despite the size, is the weight. But first let's discuss the size again. Here it is next to a regular sized 14500 light, and here we have the Olight S1A, which is an 18650 light with the way bigger batteries, and you see, except for the even bigger front, the lights are about the same size, which is interesting. And now let's check out the weight. So first we check out the Astrolux. It has 231 grams, which is 7.43 ounces, which is quite a lot. And finally the S32, which is way beefier with the way bigger battery, but it only has 1000 lumens, and this one only has 127.8 grams or 4.51 ounces. Like I said, this is a piece that is highly interesting. It is very sturdy, it is perfectly made, and even if you run it at full power, it won't really get hot, because copper is a very, very good heat dissipant. But of course you can't run it on full power for a very long time. But if you choose one of the lighter modes, it's better. By the way, in the way I have set it currently, it goes from 5 to 47 to 135 to 293, 543, 858 and 1400 lumens. So you can choose any other option too. Like I said, feel free to check out the diagram on Banggood. I didn't understand it. Okay, I hope I told you enough about this flashlight. I really like it a lot. I don't know why, as it isn't as practical, but it's still a nice flashlight, and if you're outside and need a lot of light, it will do. There are just other options out there, but for 30 bucks it's a good buy. Now I'll show you some test footage, which is just from the staircase, and to give you a better idea also from my cellar. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so for further videos. And if you have something to say or ask, please leave a comment. Bye bye.